What's good, y'all? It's your boy Trilogy. So, I guess I don't know. Well, first, let me just let you guys know, all the videos on my page just stay up. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm sharing that is because I guess I don't know. I don't. I guess I finally will plan to start sharing my content. Like this page, I just normally upload stuff and I haven't really shared it to people. When I start sharing it, I want folks to get confused and think, well, some of these videos are you're just not in your bag, G. Yeah, because I was just having thought, just sharing thoughts. But now I have a few grays, so my thoughts are starting to come together. They're starting to feel cohesive. And and today, what I really just came to the conclusion. Well, it's not that I just came to this conclusion, but I really honed in on what this conclusion really means. You know, that just generally our community, like niggas, are not disciplined. Like a lot of times we get the term discipline confused because we think oh, discipline, like get beatings or no, think of the root word discipline, disciple, right? Like mans are not disciples of anything. Like not all niggas. And we're talking about, let's set the precipice or lay the platform, the foundation, right? Because I've been making videos recently speaking about the nigga mentality, the hood mentality, the hood nigga mentality, and how that's been and becoming and will continue to be a detriment to our society, And we all play a role, like all of us, in terms of a massive consciousness of the black community. Like even the ones who don't want it to happen, the way we use language and accept culture that comes from the hood is us giving it a pass. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I'm gonna say, yo, what's up? I co-sign the energy that would invent that term. And I also co-sign the culture and the pros and the cons, right? There's a lot of pros to what our people have had to go through and come up from. But there's a lot of cons as well. So right now, as they're complaining, their situations aren't so blessed. They want things to turn around for them. And then, we get to the crux and we're like, yo, it's the system. I'm the number one advocate of blaming the system. I'm the number one pointer. Well, maybe I'm not the number one, but I'm out here pointing. I'm like, yeah, it's a system. But ultimately, the system is affecting people literally in terms of how it manifests as issues day to day. And right now, the issue for y'all is y'all niggas is not disciplined. Y'all niggas do not understand what it means to be studious towards a cause. Some of you guys do. You know what I mean? If you're a serious dealer of any products, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you're a drug dealer, you understand what it means to be studious towards that if you actually want to make gains, right? Or for the mans who love sports, you're studious towards gaining skills. If you want to be a baller, you're on the court every day balling. But for some reason, because it's easy to see the outcome. I'll be a psych baller, but even if I don't make it to the NBA, just being on the teams, all the girls are gonna like me, woody woo. All the mans them who are psych, we can have ball talk. That's gonna be a brotherhood forever. So there's a lot of pros you can just pull from saying, you know what, I want to play basketball and be studious towards it and become a disciple of the art form. Same thing when it comes to like, drug dealing. You could be like, yo, I need to make money right now. If I don't, I can't buy food tomorrow. If your situation's that dire, on the worst of the worst. But even if you're a middle class person living in Brampton and your parents have money and you get your little allowance or whatever the case, you might be like, but yo, I can't pull up in a Benz and a Lambo off of my allowance money. My parents aren't gonna go and buy me this. So you know what? I'm gonna go work and do this. So from the lowest to the highest, people are seeing the pros and the cons of the nigga mentality. Sorry, not really the point, but from the pros and the cons, people are seeing that being studious towards something gains. And I explained that for like, the nigga mentality that like they're seeing the 1-2 off situations where they can gain. And then you apply being studious. But you don't get it. You can gain in any realm you want. Any realm you want. Right? And the problem is we're not being introduced to the realms. We're not being introduced to the different art forms, the different things, situations. Like I just saw a reel or a clip or whatever of a dude at Burger King unzipping and exposing like what he just got for being studious, for being disciplined for Burger King. You know what I'm saying? 27 years, never missed a day. And he just was able to take out some Reese's pieces, you know what I mean? Some lifesavers, a couple pens, right? So I already get it. You know what I'm saying? Because for him, that's an achievement because he could easily be a statistic. Probably he doesn't have nobody in his corner showing him the gems of entrepreneurship, the gems of how his same studious energy can be redirected towards something that would be of great exploits to himself. And he probably didn't want to just go and sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? So he was studious 27 years at Burger King. You know what I mean? Whatever scenario, never went to school, or maybe he did go to school. Who knows? But he held down Burger King for 27 years, and they gave him a little tote bag of candy. It wasn't even full up. The bag was huge and little things in there. But that's what our community knows. That's what my dad knows. He didn't want to be a bad boy. Could have easily been a bad boy. Been working a job from the day I was born. So, a lot of folks don't understand how to use discipline, right? And we've only been shown very few avenues, right? At the same time, my dad is very disciplined on his job because he's held that down from the day I was born. I'm 34. I ain't no 27 at Burger King. That's 34 at his spot. I ain't gonna blow up his spot, but actually, I might have in previous videos, but I ain't gonna do it in this video because that's not the point. But he also on his side time is studious and disciplined towards his own personal exploits, which over the years now, you guys have seen certain collaborations. Obviously, the movement has been based on the back and forth of me and my pops. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, we don't always have the best communication, so we've had our back and forths. But the point is the discipline, because one thing I learned from my pops is how to be disciplined. Learned that from my mom too, but my mom more so through speech. My dad through action. My dad's literally a disciplined man. Like I just told you about his job, right? But you're not gonna just work his job and hold that down. He's gonna do his other things. So hopefully that same gentleman at Burger King is doing his other things, and that video is just going viral for the sake. But it just shows the general mentality that our community's on, that we're missing how to be disciplined. But let me take it back a step. Cause I'm talking about the mans who aren't even disciplined, right? And I guess to them they're like, yo, what's the point? What's the point of being disciplined? The most I can achieve is 27 years at Burger King, get a tote bag of candy. I might as well just hold it down, and whenever I get little money, if I do a flip here, or if I get a 1-2 opportunity there, Or you know what, I might become a rapper and blow. That's how mans are thinking. Like back in the day, if you said, yo, I want to be a rapper and blow, you have to be studious. To be studious. Like even if you're like, yo, we got a hit, you knew that you were not gonna really make it until you became a real disciple, a student of the game, so that you could actually play day to day. Like you can't keep up with the big boys if you don't really know the art form. If you just fluked and just got a 3-pointer, but you really don't know how to dribble. Eventually, you're gonna get found out and you're gonna lose. So intrinsically, everyone knew that if I want to be a baller, a rapper, I still gotta be disciplined. But mans aren't understanding. If you just want to be successful in life, anything you want to achieve, discipline is the main thing. And what does that look like, right? Because I've just been talking here, blah, 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 and about the fact that man don't know how to be disciplined, or discipline is not something people are understanding, or whatever the case may be. But let's like talk about what it means to identify discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to wake up and today you're going to have all the energy to pursue whatever it is. You're going to be on the Googles Googling. You're going to be on the YouTubes YouTubing. You're going to be in the library even reading books if you're that deep. Calling friends, asking for information, hitting up your links. And then somewhere through that process, you're going to hit a roadblock, right? It might not be that same day, might be a week, a month later, months later, a year later. You're going to hit a roadblock. And that roadblock's going to feel so large, so huge, that your instincts is going to feel to go and do something else to either pass the time or to circumnavigate that scenario, that situation, and avoid the obstacle. Maybe bypass it, thinking, well, maybe time will allow that obstacle to dissipate or whatever the case may be. What you've done, you've ruined your paradigm. See, the energy that you have right now to get going and to be on that person, when they come across that obstacle, if they were true to themselves, is going to discipline themselves to find out how, through the craft, through the art form, are they going to, withstand or avoid or beat that obstacle. They're not going to quit the game and say, well, if I come back later, the obstacle won't be there. So I can just, because they understand when they come back, the paradigm is going to have shifted. Things are going to be different. And if they had money saved up to do something, that something probably no longer will be able to serve the same purpose. If it was about gaining clout, I need to do so and so, let's speak on music. I need to finish writing this song, go to the studio, record it, and get it mixed so I could send it off to this artist and also have the money prepared to pay them for the feature. Now that just sounds like a little sentence I said, but let's analyze what that looks like in the art form of discipline, under the realm of discipline for this art form, right? You correct that, under the realm of discipline for this art form. So what does that look like? I need the money to book the studio time. So am I gonna get caught up on that? Maybe. I might be that type of person. You might be. But if you understand order of operation, you still gotta finish that song. So you're writing that song, and at the time that's appropriate, you will make the money. Money will come to you. You will create that scenario, right? That's how you're planning. That's how most people are planning. They work their job or they hustle or whatever. So they finish their song and then they use those exploits, or they have a friend who's investing or a family member or whatever, and they hit the studio. They record, they mix master. But maybe the engineer's out of town, so you can't get the song mixed right away. So now you're coming up upon missing a deadline. And you could be like, well, whatever, I'll just wait for the engineer to come back. He's going to be back. But the discipline understands what that deadline had merit for a reason. Maybe the feature is only going to be in town for a certain amount of time. Maybe their price is going to go up. Maybe you know something and it's going to change the scenario. The true discipline would say, I need to figure out how to get those files. The hood nigga now. let's break it now. Let's break this down. We're true discipline, right? Because a lot of guys will get to that point where they're like, I'm serious about what I need to do. And they're serious about getting the results. And they're disciplined about wanting to get the results. But they're not disciplined in terms of the activity towards those results. The mindset, the heart is there. Even the paradigm might be there in the beginning, but there's a shift. They're gonna roll up on the engineer, say, yo, I need my files or whatever they're gonna get. Be on the phone arguing, sending threatening texts. That's not gonna bring them towards great. You know what I'm saying? But offering a larger sum of money to entice the engineer to either change their plans, arranging for some assistant engineer to be able to get the files so you can send it to another engineer for it to be mixed. That might cost more. But if you're serious, right, about the craft, about what you're truly trying to attain, you're going to use the correct methods and go through the correct stress to obtain it. The hood nigga is going to be like, nah, man, I'm great. I'm already this person. And it's just for everyone else to realize it. Right? So that song's going to get that feature to realize it. And you don't realize it. So my fists or my energy, negative energy, is going to get you to realize it. And that's where you mess up. You messed up already. Now, regardless of whether you get the song done or not, you're going to have to recreate an energy with a new engineer, regardless of whether that engineer finishes it or another one. And maybe, yeah, you hit that deadline, you get the feature, right? But there's this dark energy in the subconscious. Shared subconscious. Our subconscious is shared, man. You guys gotta understand this. So there's a negative energy in the shared subconscious of what you did to that engineer just to get the success win. And our industry is almost being built like that for guys to feel that that kind of discipline is actually correct when it's not. It's honestly not. Because any person who's ever, like, the reason I use that example is so I can actually give the engineer's perspective. Any person who's ever brought that kind of negative energy to me, it's never worked good for them. They've gone nowhere. You've had to go back to hustling or go back to working a job or whatever. That mentality did not bring them anywhere further. Same thing I could say as the aggressor. Anytime I brought that mentality to someone else who wasn't about that energy, wasn't not even about that life. They just weren't about that energy. My career halted, stopped, went backward, back steps. My life is just a natural thing. So let's pinpoint the discipline, and the discipline is a spiritual one, right? Like, this is not waking up every day and making sure you're the best lyricist. This is waking up every day and making sure like your spirit's on point. It's not waking up every day and like making sure you're studying to beat your test and to pass the test and to wow your teacher. This is waking up every day to make sure you're in alignment with what you're actually trying to achieve, with what you're actually trying to do on the test and why you're trying to impress your teacher. See, because a lot of folks will get caught up in the side games. Impressing the teacher is a side mission. Like, yeah, all those things are great, but the real mission is what you're supposed to be disciplined on. So if your real mission is like, I'm trying to get out of the ghetto, I'm trying to get out of this financial situation, I'm trying to get into a positive relationship, the things you need to be focused on as an individual is not all the superficial things you look at other people who have what you want. And that's the main issue, right? Because even in the beginning of this video, I said, like, you know, you could be disciplined, studious towards the correct exploits, like, you know, a job, whatever the case, and you make that money and such and such and such. But I'm not talking about literally that. I'm talking about the energy, because on the outside, things could look any way they want, bro. Like, on the outside, let's go back to that Burger King worker. On the outside, that Burger King worker looks like, man, he put in 27 years 27 years for this company for them to just give him back that little nonsense bag. But maybe for him, right? That's 27 years that he was able to finesse something else in close proximity while also avoiding other things in close proximity. What does that mean? Probably he was avoiding, maybe he could be avoiding negative friends, negative family, negative situations by focusing in on just having that job, right? Maybe he was able to finesse relationships with people within the establishment who have similar tastes outside of Burger King. So, co-worker, manager, other executives, whoever. He's been there 27 years. He's been to company parties, all kinds of things you don't know. He's been able to shake hands with whoever. They clearly know him at head office to send him a package, right? So, who knows what that means offline? See, we're looking at things online. So I'm saying you're gonna be motivated to be studious for things superficially is not gonna hold you long term. You have to be motivated spiritually, internally for like the journey. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you understand, like I'm being studious for the journey, you put on your seatbelt. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just want to get to the destination, you're not really studious so much. You forget to put on your seatbelt. You get in a collision. And now your face mash up. You know what I'm saying? That's more what I'm trying to tell man. Like life is not anything that you can really be like practice swinging 100 times so you can hit the ball. Like life is more like being studious towards the preparation of being able to hit the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how the ball's gonna get thrown. You never know. But if you practice to strengthen your arms so you could swing for fast velocity, but also you could swing for strength, but also you could swing for, you know, random curves and then your hand-eye coordination, you're practicing other things that have to do with hand-eye or coordination. You're not just there with a simple ball pitching machine and swinging at it all day because that's not really going to show you the finesse. I think that's really what it is. Mans aren't disciplining their mind to understand the finesse of life, understand how life comes in all ways, all different sides. You know what I'm saying? So then, boom, they hoist, a savior, a new hood nigga savior, and everyone studies whatever he did and think that's going to be their path. Then, boom, as soon as they start hitting obstacles, you start resorting back to bad behaviors. Things that you're not trying to discipline yourself towards. You're trying to, if anything, discipline yourself away from. But let's quick get to the last point. Not really last point, but like maybe a more solution, right? Like, cause how can you stop? All right, we're still streaming. Sorry, my bad, guys. I was just trying to clear off a notification and just change the screen and everything. But yeah, how do we find ways to maintain the discipline, to be the disciple? What does it even mean? Like I mentioned it earlier as like, yo, that's the root word, but what does it actually mean to be a disciple? Right? Let's look at it from the most superficial perspective. Everyone's gonna say, well, disciples, that's connected to like a religious perspective or like a monk. Monks have disciples and Jesus had disciples. So it's like, I guess Jesus was a monk. Catch that, Jim. But anyways, disciples are literally studying what their teacher is providing. But if you really take in how most teachers who have disciples implement their lessons, it's normally a game. They normally implement their lessons as games and the reason I say games because it's normally a circuit. Like if it's an obstacle course, that's a game, right? Like being a disciple to run through an obstacle course and to understand the various the variations or whatever can be changed, the different obstacles, and I don't remember the term right now, but basically just how like the infinite complexities of life can come at you. because it's an obstacle course. It's real life, but it's like it's built, but there's still like real ground, and the ground could shift or whatever the case may be, tripping sand or the grass is. You're not controlling every grass blade, but the general idea is that this is an obstacle, and you got to beat it. And as a disciple, you don't just attempt beating the obstacle course every day. You actually attend what it means to be stronger to beat the obstacle course. So they give you a game. They say here's a puzzle. They say here's a riddle. Here's whatever. Here's a, for instance, my interns. Here's a song that needs to be mixed. That's a game, right? Because they're gonna have to utilize all the skills, all the potential skills in life, knowledge base, whatever, to try and overcome that obstacle, beat that game. And as you become a disciple under someone, the more you understand what tools you're pulling from in any specific issue. In this specific math problem, I'm going to be understanding the tools of division or the tools of subtraction or whatever to deal with this problem, or the tools of parabolas or whatever. However deep you are, you're going to understand the tool. Like, okay, I'm writing this song. I need to finish this song. Let's go back to that example because maybe that'll help drive this point. I need to finish this song. I got this bar. I'm stuck. I could just write anything to rhyme, but I want it to have an impact. So here are some tools. Story writing. Okay, have I written the song in a story? Then what's the conclusion? How can I write the conclusion? All right, what can make this conclusion more interesting? Okay, there's another tool, like English, all the different mechanisms in English, grammar, whatever, antonyms, synonyms, homonyms, blah, blah, blahs, similes, whatever, metaphors. All right, let's use a metaphor. Okay, I'm going to bring this conclusion to an end, this story I've been telling, bring it to an end with a metaphor. Boom. At least with those tools, you've guided yourself. Now you know you have a little pattern. That might be the mechanism or the formula to finish that song. You recorded in the studio, and boom, because of that bar, pulling from the tools that you've been practicing, you always in the library understanding the different mechanisms of English, so you have it in your head, right? Or you're on Google googling the different ways of writing and presenting written art, the art of writing. You're reading books about that, the art of writing, the art of communicating. And they explained, like, yo, when you tell your thoughts as a story, it helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I put up this entire video, this is just my random brain coming up with thoughts or whatever my thoughts coming up with my brain coming up with random thoughts based on a subject I knew I wanted to speak on. But it's not like a completely arranged lecture. If it was, it'd be better to say okay, go back to it and listen to it and be like, okay, this, like, how can I bring this in as a full story? So I start with the beginning, middle, end, so that it just flows easy, it connects easy for everyone. Boom. That's something that a writer or someone who wants to be an artist should be focusing on, increasing their songwriting skills. And songwriting is a whole gamut of other things. So boom, that's one example. But let's say I wanted to be a beat maker. Okay, I could just learn to make beats and just be studious about making beats every day. I'm opening the program, learning just how to make beats. And every day I'm just making a better beat. Or I can understand the DNA of what that art form presents and be a disciple of all the different aspects of that DNA. So now I signed up for piano lessons and I'm learning piano lessons. I'm learning music theory. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to play drums. I'm even taking singing lessons so I can become a better producer, to tell the singer to sing this way, to sing that way, because now I know at least what a singer is thinking about or trying to achieve as a singer. Whatever, like, I'm doing way more than just, I'm gonna make the sickest beat today. I'm gonna make 7 sick beats, right? Because when you just are just making 7 6 beats and then you hit the obstacle of, I can't get this beat to Dr. Dre, you're not gonna have the gamut of DNA wisdom that you've been looking at, all the different things you've been disciplined towards, to say, okay, well, I can't get it to Dr. Dre, but I remember the teacher I was working with has other students who are songwriters. Maybe one of them, I heard one of them works for Death Row or whatever, or works for whoever. That I'm gonna send a beat to them. We're gonna write the song together because I know them from that Christmas time when we all came together and had whatever a choral singing, and we're all singing choral songs, Christmas choral, Christmas whatever, Christmas jingles, and you get the point I'm saying, right? You know that person through the different exploits of things we're doing. Your network is now larger. Now they're writing a song. They're the person sitting with Dr. Dre, and boom, now Dr. Dre is hearing your beat because they are the songwriter saying, yo, here's a new song I wrote. Not because you were saying, yo, check out my beat, check out my beat. It was their power of being a songwriter. So all that to say, man, there's things that people just aren't understanding in our community, what it really means to be a disciplined person towards your goal. Means that you're turning over every rock in the vicinity. You're not just focused on the goal, because life's like this. I cyclic. I think I've broken that down how many times. So you're focused on like the rock over here and seeing what does this mean? What could this mean for my future? Who knows? Let me calculate and just keep that data, put it in the database. All right, what's this over here? Oh, all right, let me put this in the database. All right, let me put that in the database. And over time, you have a full toolkit. You come to obstacles, it's nothing, because you're just saying, well, you know what? Based on this scenario outside in this paradigm, back when I was researching for this element, for that, you're looking at this thing so surgical, so scientific. It becomes the whole thing. The whole thing becomes a game. The whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying that because that's what I know I struggle with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't out here trying to say like I'm a hood nigga, yo. But I know that I carry the traits, you know. That at times I can carry the traits that would liken to being a hood nigga, and because I'm a person who reflects and I'm retrospective, that's why I try and come in these videos and share gems of how you can overcome it, how you can beat the beast. Right? So I hope this video has been helpful. I'm just gonna finish balling up and getting onto what I have next, which is a bunch of that's a whole next story. But anyways, peace. And then I'm gonna struggle for another 30 seconds trying to end the video.